Hello, everybody. Just wanted to make a few quick comments about the upcoming work. I've had a few emails from students about a few things, so let's have a quick peek here. So, first, we'll just make a comment about the timeline. So you've just submitted the mini analysis and the proposal. Those are both due yesterday, so I'm going to tackle those first thing tomorrow morning and hopefully get those graded. It'll take me a couple of days to work through those. In the meantime, you're also already working on Module 3, and you have 2 discussion forums due on Thursday, with the comments and so forth due a week later. And that's because this is a long weekend in much of Canada. Myself, I'll be driving to Prince Edward Island on Friday, back on Sunday. So I'll have Monday and Tuesday to comment on your work. And then the comments are due by Wednesday. Then you have a bit of time for the final Guiding Creativity discussion and the Cultivating Creativity assignment, which I'll talk about a bit more in just a moment. And then we're moving very quickly. Your PD presentation is due shortly thereafter on Sunday. And then you have one more week, basically 5 days, but you can take a few extra days if you need to do the closing course module. So things are moving very quickly. So let me just talk a little bit about what's coming up. So again, you've just submitted that one and that one. They'll be marked. So now you're doing inviting creativity. So here you're discussing this assignment in a more general context and getting some feedback. So you do have quite a bit of time between this one and this one to get actual feedback on the work and make some adjustments if you want, or incorporate that feedback. This one is due just a few days before the assignment. So this is really much more focused on pulling out one specific element of your assignment and sharing that with us, because the assignment itself won't be shared with your peers. You're also doing then the investigating your own thing discussion, which prepares you and gets you feedback about the PD presentation to colleagues. I've already talked about that, so I won't go on about it right now, but let me just comment that you got this assignment, which is a big one. That's really could be targeted at students or faculty, but it's much more about them doing an activity following your guidelines, whereas this one is much more about you presenting something. You may get your audience, and I've suggested that you have your audience do something as part of a workshop, but the scope is quite a bit different. And you'll notice that this is 20% graded, and this one is a 10% complete, not complete. So you can see the focus is much more on this one than on this one. And this one's worth a lot more percentage-wise, because here, this one you're going to get 10% for doing it. This one you're going to be graded on the work. Similarly, you're then going to be finishing off with the discussion forum and the major analysis of the creative experience assignment, which is an analysis of the experience, not a description of the experience. There might be a little description to tell me what you've done, but the focus is the analysis of the experience, and that again is worth 20%, just like the Cultivating Creativity assignment. So those two should be your focus over the next couple of weeks, and attracting your attention. The discussion forums and the PD presentation are complete, not complete. And so that doesn't diminish their importance, but it does allow you to focus on where your time should be spent. Now, you can tie some of these together, and I've made a few comments in the announcements about how you might relate some of these topics together. For example, when you've talked about your creative process, you could tie that a little bit into the presentation and talk a bit about, here's the process I followed, what do you think, and maybe have them do something similar. And then here's an analysis of the experience. This one could be related to this one, but I see them more as separate activities. One is much more about cultivating creativity on their own part, so they're pursuing their own activity that you've set up following a model, whereas here you're presenting more of your vision of what creativity might look like and inviting your colleagues to share in your view. So there's quite a bit of a difference between these two, I think. Anyways, it's already 5 minutes and 45 seconds, so I'm going to stop there. Please feel free to email me any more questions, and thank you very much.